Aloha, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Prince John Internet TV. What's the objective here? To find something in common so we can all enjoy each other's company and experience what everyone deserves, an intimate relationship with somebody who's a great match for them. And to experience the ecstasy of their initial young love all the way into their whole lifetime. And how do we do it? We do it with a combination of learning how to deal with these interactions, how to be patient, control our desires so that we can go beyond the ephemeral nature of lust and enter into the eternal love nature. Family is forever of love. So, bottom line, if you're here watching the show, it's because you have a feeling about something and you know that the world can be perfect and amazing, and yet you may be still depending on your own mind and intuitive abilities to make judgments or make arrangements and discern what to do and when to do it and where, etc. That's where the light work comes in. Just simply taking your hand up like that, beaming a brilliant white light, visualizing it, imagining people smiling, taking control of your world. So, here's a few other thoughts, but feel free to provide me with some feedback. Maybe you notice something that I'm doing that is a contradiction to what I'm saying. I'd like to know about it. You can be honest with me because I listen. So, the reason that I say hi to people, in public as a social courtesy is not necessarily to make them feel better, but mainly to display that I myself am happy. For example, even if I don't have much money and maybe I would deface part of the front of my face, and it looks unattractive, but I can still smile and show people that whatever my circumstances are, I am content. And I think it's necessary to do this as long as one's basic needs are met. If one's basic needs are not met, like the need for medical care, health care, hygiene, and food and shelter. If those are all met, then beyond that, it's next the person is in a position to create their world consciously and decide to use some positive affirmations. For example, I am attracting a great job for me, something that will pay to help me meet my needs, and so on. And remember, there may be a natural inclination to, when surrounded by, somebody who you're really attracted to, like say, I'm hanging out and in the proximity is a woman that I'm attracted to. Well, then I might feel like I've got to get a job right away and I've got to get married because I have this overwhelming desire and lust. And this is, I like to avoid that because, using things such as segregated schooling, and not only are men and women different, and I know there's a gray area, the LGBT community, that can be further, examined, but generally speaking, men and women, even if you're around a woman and you're trying to be friends with her or friendly, it can often end up where the hormones just take over and you're drunk in lust, which is no way to start a relationship. Alright, so wherever I am, it's always my world, and therefore I insist that everyone smile. That's why I smile. I create it. I imagine people walking past me who don't reciprocate my greeting them. I imagine them smiling. I mean, so another thought, why would I want someone who is not like me? It's not fair to try and be intimate with somebody who's healthier than me or not as healthy as me. How about somebody just like me with the same dieting principles, etc. That way, there's no pretending. And of course there's potential for change, but I'll have to accept the person exactly as they are, and why not just accept somebody who's really similar to me already, instead of expecting that they have to change certain things they eat or certain places they go or the way they exercise. Why not just find somebody who's a lot like me? And ultimately, the soulmate theory, my theory is, it's not a question of forcing or trying to find this person, but just simply being ready oneself and putting things out there, such as I do my show. I greet people, both men and women, briefly, and I just, let them know a little bit about me, my light work. I'm a vegetarian, etc. All right, another subject. The way of the universe, I believe, is instead of being upset and denigrating somebody who, such as a politician who has corruptly misappropriated tax dollars, rather applaud them for something like, like even something as simple as they serve coffee or something. It's the word that changes things. You can't tell somebody to. It's all about approach. You can't just tell somebody, you can't spend money on those new state and city and county trucks. It's not fair. That's not the way. The way is we we focus on each other's good things and set the precedent with kind words. Take responsibility. Don't worry, government or any officials who, were corrupt and criminals. You know, I'm referring to people who are rational people. I'm not referring to drunk people under the influence of just crazy. I'm talking about people where even though they may have committed a bad deed, you can still talk to them and have a conversation. Let's just say we know what you've done. We know that you may have hidden secrets about extraterrestrials. You may have tried to imprison people unfairly because of racial or other bias prejudices. Um, you may be a criminal who's stolen things because you wanted to meet your needs of getting drugs. You may be a rich person, maybe a rich drug dealer, or doing unsustainable activities like that hurt the environment. You may be a rich drug dealer, who's trying to afford an expensive lifestyle because you really like this woman that you're with, who's beautiful, etc. But no matter where you are, you know, you know, focus on somebody who looks like you, who's similar to you, like who would highly likely to be your soulmate. All right. Let's enjoy each other. That's what I'm trying to say. World, everybody, global community. Let's break apart the boxes and the lines and the barriers that separate us. I used to think certain people were racist or biased, but in taking responsibility for my world, I've discovered that I need to initiate things and reach out first, showing people there's a good reason not to be racist or biased against me. be sure not to hurt someone right away with stolen property, because they may not have been the person who took it. And remember, everything that I do, I believe, is not possible without light work. And my life is magical because of it. I I think we all have good and bad habits in our lives, but we will be happy. We can only be happy based on the conscious decision to focus on the good things in people, and be aware of both good and bad. Maybe send them an email saying, well, this made me unhappy, but this made me happy. And just try and create our world where we're imagining people we're angry at smiling, and create that. Okay, so I used to believe I was irresponsible or unpredictable or undependable, because you know, I don't have a regular conventional job with paid monetarily regularly, and sometimes I eat at soup kitchens, so people might think I'm taking advantage of the system or charity, and because I'm able-bodied. But I like to focus my time on my show here. I think this is my best way of contributing to the community at large. Even though I'm not paid for the show, I think in the spiritual world, first, I'm paid for it, and I'm not worried about, you know, thank you for your input. Some people might think I'm taking advantage, but I really think I'm very dependable, and I do my show regularly, and I'm glad to do it. So you can be informed. This information should be free, and that's why I live this simple lifestyle, being on the streets and you know eating minimally, and not eating minimally, but eating simply rather, um, and so on. I'm doing this because I think I'm going to change the world. And admittedly, maybe I should try and do it with my world first, you know, getting some stability in my life, housing, but I kind of like the lifestyle I'm living right now. And if somebody steals my bag, for example, I say, you know what? If you have to steal it, go ahead. As long as somebody doesn't steal my, the food that I need to eat, if I'm hungry, then I'm okay. Let's make some benefit of the doubt for people, and just show them what unconditional love is and how powerful it is, and how quickly it doesn't take any time for these gestures to work. Instantly, boom, create the vibration for yourself and the people around you. Take control. As long as you have the room to be responsible for doing this. Not everyone does, so don't worry if you have a regular job and you have to support a family. You're not in a position to do what I do, but I'm here for you, and we're all in this together. Prince John, Internet TV, baby.